Good afternoon. I am happy to join you to talk about deacons and the changes affecting deacons that were approved by the General Conference earlier this year. I am Anita Wood and the Director of Provisional Membership, Deacon Support, and Certification in Specialized Ministries. Just as a reminder, all the references I will make to the Book of Discipline and the paragraph numbers are to the 2012 Book of Discipline and can be found in the red line edition, which is on our webpage at gbhem.org/BOM. As I list all the changes made at General Conference that affect deacons, it seems a long list, but many of these changes affect all clergy, both licensed and ordained. The changes on candidacy and provisional members are listed here, and I will look at them quickly and then suggest that you go to the website where the presentations that we made on both the candidacy and provisional members will be posted, and you will be able to see those presentations and some of the information around them. I will spend more time on the changes that affect only deacons. The rest of the list are those I will be speaking of today. The major changes for deacons are ordination now to word, service, compassion, and justice, and the way the Book of Discipline lists the possibilities for deacon appointments. I will spend most of my time looking at paragraph 331, but I wanted deacons to have this full list of all the changes in order to be able to reference them. The addition of the words compassion and justice to the ordination of deacons is a change that has a significant impact on the order of deacon. This addition came from the Commission to Study Ministry, as they looked at the distinctiveness of each order of ministry and licensed ministry. Compassion and justice gives a fuller description of the specialty of deacons. They are words presently in the Book of Discipline in the explanation of the uniqueness of the order. And so to bring them into the ordination ritual makes a declaration of the distinctive ministry of the deacon. It helps to interpret who we are as deacons and be clear about the focus of our ministry. Here, in a nutshell, are the changes in candidacy, the common experience for all candidates on orientation to ministry, the orientation to ministry event, and the possibility of group mentoring. The changes made in paragraph 327 in provisional membership are around the discontinuance process and retirement. Discontinuance must have the approval of the Board of Ordained Ministry and be brought to the clergy session, and in the case where it is without the consent of the provisional member, there will be a right to a fair process before the Conference Relations Committee of the Board of Ordained Ministry. Provisional deacons will no longer be retired if they reach the mandatory retirement age without being approved for ordination. They will be discontinued. Anyone who has been a provisional deacon and wishes to continue beyond the age of 72 will therefore be employed as a layperson. This takes effect January 2013, remember, so anyone who is already retired as a provisional member would remain that way. Requirements for ordination have been changed, and I would ask you to look more closely at these. The board must be satisfied at the physical, mental, and emotional health of the person seeking ordination as a deacon. The second one listed here makes it clear that a proclamation presentation may be submitted to the Board of Ordained Ministry rather than a sermon. This should be relevant to the particular ministry of the deacon, such as a training workshop, a musical composition, a teaching session, a video production on outreach ministry. I could go on, but I'm sure you get the idea. An opportunity for the deacon to demonstrate their own unique ministry setting. A Bible study, including a detailed plan and outline, must also be submitted. The fourth requirement here has been added for both deacons and elders, and is a response to our mission of the church. How has the person coming for ordination demonstrated fruitfulness in their ministry? It asks for a project, and so can be related once again to the unique setting of the deacon. As you look at the ordination questions, you will find them listed in a more thematic way and more relevant to the practice of ministry. I dealt with these in detail in the presentation on provisional membership, which I did earlier, and which will be posted on our website. There is an emphasis on integrating theological understandings into the practice of ministry, and to speak to ways the person seeking ordination works to fulfill the mission of the church and be fruitful. So we come to paragraph 331, which has been changed substantially, but more in its ordering rather than its content. Other paragraphs were brought together in this one to hopefully give more clarity to appointments and accountability. And since they apply to both provisional deacons and deacons, we were able to remove some of the repetitiveness in the Book of Discipline. This paragraph will be your point of reference when looking for information on types of positions appropriate for deacons and provisional deacons. Following the process for the request for a position to be made an appointment, for secondary appointments, for processes for evaluation and reporting, support for deacons and provisional deacons, and for termination procedures. No significant changes were made in any of these issues, but they have been brought together in this one paragraph with additional information and an attempt to organize the information in a way that makes it easier to find the information when you need it. I hope you will find this paragraph helpful as you support deacons and provisional deacons in their appointments and issues surrounding them. This addition to the responsibilities of the Board of Ordained Ministry emphasizes the importance of deacons having a mentor, life coach, pastoral counselor, or a spiritual guide. You are encouraged to make this happen in order to stay healthy. This may be a question to be asked of all deacons and provisional deacons on their annual report. While the transitional leave paragraph, 354, looks very different, the process for deacons has remained the same. It looks different because it has been revised in the event that the decision to eliminate the provision for security of appointment is upheld by the Judicial Council, and it will therefore be needed by elders who do not receive an appointment. But it does remain the same for deacons and provisional deacons, and should be used when there is a between appointments time. A clergy person must always have a status, And transitional leave is a status that allows a deacon or provisional deacon, to continue to serve on committees and be active in the conference while seeking an appointment. It will now be able to be used for up to 2 years, which is a change from the previous 1 year. And the 90 days notice will still be in effect. Paragraph 358 now has the title, Medical Leave Due to Medical and Disabling Conditions that Prevent Performance of Ministerial Duties. This paragraph used to be the incapacity leave. Once again, this is a status for clergy, but one that must be authorized by the Conference Relations Committee, Board of Ordained Ministry, and conference in consultation with the Board of Pensions. I want to be loud and clear to deacons and all clergy at this point. If you are ever contemplating a change in your status, please consult with your conference officials and the General Board of Pensions and Health Benefits. You need to know how any change will affect your pension and health care benefits. Conferences are changing healthcare plans every year, and there may be requirements for staying in a plan. Thank you for being with us today for this legislation webinar. We're happy to give you this information and to let you know you may always contact us if you have further questions.